Good morning, good morning. This is Lori from the Pink Girly channel. And today I'm going to start to build a specific genre stash. I don't know, it just came to me the other day, yesterday actually. I was watching CK Art, Colleen's channel, and she was showing a magazine at the beginning of her stream. I don't know if it was the Art Journaling magazine. I know it was a Somerset Studio um, publication, I think. Anyway, one of the pages she showed, there was a lot of cool vintage stuff on a page, and it was really heavy laden with bits. And I thought, geez, for me to build any kind of a journaling page like that, it would take me forever to get the little pieces all together. And then I thought, ooh, what if I start building a stash of vintage looking things? So that's what I'm going to work on today. I have a couple of hours. I have a date with my son and my mom. So I've got 2 hours. And Lena is going to come on, I believe, after me. She's a fabulous artist. So if you've not ever watched Lena, good morning, Angie Brown. Hello, hello. Some of us had a late night watching Keisha. The virtual Craft Vendors Market will be on this afternoon at 5 Eastern on the Keisha's Creations. They're 2Ks, Keisha's Creations channel. And she's going to announce the topic for their mystery box. Carla, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. All right, I've just gathered a bunch of stuff here in my little tray. This is a suggestion I have. I had this idea quite some time ago when I first started to stream. That if you have a small space to work your crafts and you don't really have a place like an art room or a designated place and you have to put your things away every time you art. One idea I had is if you load up all your supplies in a tray like this, then you can take them wherever, to your kitchen table, outside, and then you can leave everything in your tray and move it wherever you need to. And then when you're done with that particular project, you just put what's in the tray away. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea. All right. I see Carla has said hello to lovely lady, and I don't see her that she's popped in, but hello, hello. And I'm still trying to remember. I think it's Jacqueline. I'm not sure. I see some folks are arriving. So good morning, good morning. So what I'm doing is I have my coffee mixture here, just instant coffee and water. And this one's pretty strong. I like it darker. Now I've painted some of that on just some time cards. Oh, I didn't realize there were two sides. I thought it was blank on this side. So I'm letting those dry. I splashed one. So I thought that might. Oh, there's a lady who comes in though, Carla, and I think she's called Lovely Lady, and I think her name is Jacqueline. Oh, that's too funny. Well, thank you. Look, I found this stuck here by my desk. It had my husband's name on it, and I don't know why. I guess it was just some kind of a junk mail thing, but it's really cool. So I'm going to paint some of this one here. I think I'm going to probably, I think I'm going to cut this up. But look, here where the tape pulled off, look how cool that's looking. I don't know. Why do we like this kind of stuff, girls? I just don't know. My family doesn't understand. I'm like, yeah, but my friends online, they get it. They're all like, they're like me. They like the same kind of stuff. Okay, this is how silly I am, all right? My last stream, who was it? Somebody, maybe it was Journey, was talking about, I have it written down. She was talking about paper cloth scissors. And I thought they were a brand of scissors that were really good. Here, when I got offline and I looked it up, it's a magazine. Oh my gosh, paper cloth scissors. It's a magazine. And I don't think, they're saying, I don't think you can get it anymore. And I'm thinking there's scissors that you can't get anymore. Oh my gosh, what a goofball, right? Ooh. Okay, running out of room to let this stuff dry. We'll get out my heat gun. So some of these I'm popping. I'm going to leave a couple of these in, but some of them these are the slide projector transparencies. So I'm just popping some of them out. I was going to get a napkin out. I haven't done that yet. But my hope is to start just putting little pieces of this and that together to start to build a craft stash of vintage looking stuff. Now, I don't know who makes these. I don't know if it's Dina Wakley. I think it might be Dina Wakley. And I have a couple more of these, but I don't know where I have them. This gal ended up on the floor. So I'm going to paint her. And I think I am going to use a stamp on her. Just threw all different kinds of things in here. And I'm not going to paint everything, but I'm going to paint a lot of it. Good morning, Judy. So I'm trying to get this part of it done first, so these have time to dry. Of course, I can use my heat gun, like I said, but if I can get these to dry a little bit. And I'm going to make some tape. That tape that looks like somebody piddled on it. And I have these guys. Yeah, those other ones must be Dina Wakley because this is Dina Wakley. Let's get these chaps out of the bag. So how is everyone? Good morning, good morning. I see some folks are filtering in. Don't be shy. Come say hi. I might stitch some things. Got my sewing machine here. It's not plugged in yet, but let's see. These guys look a little too fancy schmancy, I think. That guy looks like a regular guy. How about those three? Doing real good. That's great, Judy. Good to hear that. It's Good Friday for those of us who observe that holiday. My daughter is hosting Easter this year, which is different. My middle sister usually hosts. Well, sometimes my younger sister does. We're so far away from the rest of our family. They say we live in Guam, so nobody usually comes here. We usually do New Year's Day, and of course this year we were all sick, so not this year. And the reason my daughter's doing it this year is because my niece is going to see her in-law family for Easter. And she has a cat and a dog, and my son-in-law is severely allergic to cats. So we've changed the venue. So if you're just popping in, what I'm doing today is I'm starting to build a stash of vintage type ephemera, if you will. Now I'm just going to pop some of this stuff up here out of the way. My mouse died, so at some point I might have to reach across to do something on my screen. I put new batteries in it, but it's just looking dead. Hey, Dixie, good morning, good morning. All right, these are little pockets. And my genre type is vintage. I didn't want to say grunge because it's not really, it's not like steampunk grungy, so I didn't want to be misleading. But I am kind of just grunging up this stuff. Taking away the bright white from some things. And of course I get carried away. So I have to be careful here because I can always do more of this stuff. You know, you're not going to build a stash. If that's what you want to do, you're not going to build a stash in 2 hours. Okay? You're just not. But if you weren't here, what I said earlier was when I was watching CK Art stream yesterday morning, that's Colleen, and she had Kathy Berg with her. K Berg. I think that's so cute, K Berg. And Colleen, before Kath arrived, was showing a magazine. I know there's some watercolor paper in here. Yeah, with this. It was a Somerset Studio, I think, publication. It might be the Art Journaling magazine. I don't remember that part. But she was showing and doing a flip through. And the one journal page that someone in the magazine had done had all this delicious vintage looking stuff on it. Good morning, Icy. Nice to see you. And I thought, boy, for me to do a page like that would take me forever. I'm repeating a little bit for those who are just coming in. So I thought, hey, why not be intentional and build a stash with a certain genre or look, if you will. Now, it doesn't have to be vintage. You may not like vintage, but you could build it according to what you like and what you mostly work with, right? Could be Victorian, could be steampunk, could be happy. All right, some of this stuff I don't need to address and do. And I put these in my little bin here of goodies just because I found these the other day. I don't really think any of these are going to work for this. Well, I could maybe take one apart. Adhesive canvas, printed canvas. Delusions by Ranger. I wonder how they would take the, oh, that's a girl. Look how cool that is. So I don't know if I want to. Let me try this one. Because that one might look cool cut up with all the letters behind. We'll just see. So I might build some clusters, you know, I don't know. I don't know where we're headed. But I'm going to put some of my coffee. And what I'm doing is painting on a coffee, instant coffee and water mixture to just knock back all these bright looking colors. Ooh, that really got the curls. That curled up nice. Okay, I've got some book spine stuff. Look, some of this stuff, look, I bought this at the market. I've never even opened it up. When I was cleaning my desk, I found stuff I forgot I had. Isn't that cute? That's a little piece of like burlap, but it's stiff. Isn't that cool? We'll give that a little paint. These are those whale tails. I have the punch for these. So some of these might come in handy. So I'm just looking for a couple that I can put some of that coffee mixture on. So does anyone else have plans for the weekend for Easter? Anybody traveling? We just have to go over to Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and 15-minute ride to our daughter's. Oh, I guess these are ones that I had put some kind of ink on. I like that. And like I say, I get carried away, so I have to kind of watch myself and not go crazy. That's kind of cool. That'll be enough. So now once some of these things dry, I'm going to punch out some different shapes. And I've got some old fabric here. A friend of mine. Good morning, Riri. Nice to see you. A friend of mine who doesn't do mixed media. She's a painter. She does beautiful work. And sometimes she makes dolls and stuffs them. And oh, her stuff is so cool. Anyway, she had asked her for scraps of fabric off of her floor. And she gave me several pieces of this delicious old vintage bedspread. Look at that. Is that not cool? I mean, the fabric tear is so easy. It's so old. But then there's this fluffy stuff behind it. I can't tell you how many things I've used that on. See, that's like gold to me. I love that stuff. I would love to go to a flea market and find something old and torn like that. Or like in our development, we live in a 55 plus. And in May, ooh, that's right, that's going to be coming up soon. We have a community yard sale. Ugh, some stuff you can find is really cool, but I've never found like an old raggy looking bedspread, which I would love. Okay, Riri's staying home. She's turned into an old fuddy-duddy. She loves being at home and considered herself most fortunate. Hey, it's wonderful that you can do what you love. My mother says she's not going to Easter with us, but the doctor wants her to get out and do a little more, and she's able to. She moves pretty good. She's getting a little loopy, but other than that, she's, and we enjoy her company. I won't tell you what she said because it's a little off color, but we plan to take mums with us. My son and nephew plan to get mums to Easter dinner. Now this I got in a kit. Someone took the time to cut that out of a piece of lace fabric. Journey may stay home too. Whatever floats your boats, kids. I've got two grandchildren, 6 and 4, that I am dying to see. I should put some water in this. This is really kind of getting dark. It's all right. It's all right. Now I might paint some stuff while I'm working away. All right, so let's put this aside. Of course, I can't find my one book of Timmy words. I found my seasonal words, and that might work. I always like to put words on some of my stuff. All right, so I'm just going to throw all this stuff up here in a pile. Let's clean this up. I apologize for that glare. I always try to put something. I keep forgetting to ask my husband what we can do to, get that. I have a fluorescent light above me, and I keep forgetting to ask him what we can do to maybe filter that somehow so I can still have the light but not have the glare on my glass board. Of course, I could, not use my glass board. Oh, here's a couple more pieces of these. I do want to paint these. All right, now in my little tray here, my little work tray, if you will, I've got this piece of, it's not really acetate. Hey, good morning, Dar. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. And good morning to those who have arrived. And maybe, oh, look how cool that turned out. I'm going to leave that the way that is. Just doing a lighter coat on these. Now, of course, the back side on some of these is not going to get used. Boy, the coffee sure is sticky. It's a sticky wicket. Now I forget what I was saying. Oh, I've got a piece of, I don't think it's acetate. Well, it's like heavy. It's heavy. But I'm going to put some tape on that. And I'm going to make, I'm going to make some of that old-timey looking tape. Gillian, good morning. Say happy Easter to everyone. This was in a kit that I bought. I have no idea. Had it forever. But I think this will be good to put my tape on. So, if I can remember where I put my tape, I used to have it all sitting here, and I'm getting more and more organized. You know how that goes, and then you can't find anything. I have my glue gun plugged in. Okay, I've been trying to put all my tape over here. Let's see if I can stretch. That's frosted. I don't want frosted. Of course, if I got too frosted. Okay. All right. Now for this, I'm going to use alcohol ink. And I'm sure you've seen others do this. I did this a week or so ago. But I think this is a component that might look good in building a vintage ephemera stash. Okay, Ange, that's good. Good morning, Nashua. Oh, I know it's not. I know it's not morning for you, Nashua, but I can't remember. So I'm taking just some clear cellophane tape. I think that's what you call it. Different size pieces. And I'm going to get this going because I want to let this dry. Of course, I can hit this lightly with my heat gun as well. And the last time I did this and I rubbed it around with a Q-tip, I didn't like that so much. So, now this here, excuse my reach, let me go around this way. I don't think this is alcohol. I think this one is for porous surfaces. Shake well. I'm trying to see what it's made from. I don't know if it tells us, but it doesn't say. It's acid-free, fluid dye for paper, and porous surfaces. I think this only works if you're using alcohol ink. Well, we could try one, right? This has the sponge top. This is wild honey. Yeah, see, it's just beating up. Can you see what that's doing? It's not sticking to it. That's not what we want. I might use that in something else, though. So this is alcohol ink. It says it right on there. Latte. I find that I do better if I just smear it around with the applicator nose of the tricky part. See, if I go, well, that's not too bad if I use my finger. See, when you use the Q-tip, all the alcohol ink sucks up into the Q-tip, and you don't really get any on the tape. Now, that does take a little while to dry, but there again, like I said, we can use the heat gun. So let me sit that off to the side. I have stuff sitting everywhere. And I was going to get a napkin. Let's see. What do I have in the way of napkins that I can grab? Let's see. This might be okay. Of course, you can use your second or third layer. All right, what's Gail say here? Gail Ann, let's see what our little Gail Ann's saying here. Gail Ann says, I finally got some alcohol ink yesterday and started playing with them on your oh. Yes, messy. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Look, it looks like I've been dyeing Easter eggs, right? It's all good. It's all good. Now, this napkin, I don't think has too many layers. Maybe this is just a 2-ply. All right, so what I've done so far is I've coffee stained some timestamp cards, tickets, if you will. Gosh, maybe this doesn't have a backing. Whoa. El Cheapo Napkino. Okay, well, that'll work. So I'm going to take a cup. Anyway, so I've got some cardstock type papers that I've coffee stained, some watercolor paper, some cutouts, some cutout lace. I stained some of these slide projector frames. Now what I want to do is glue these onto this napkin. So I'm going to put a little oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, try it on everything. Gillian, what colors did you get? I only have the latte. I mean, I have other alcohol inks, but they're like, this isn't coming out very well. They're like real bright colored stuff. You know what I mean? They're like, not stuff that you would make things look vintagey with, is what I'm trying to say. I guess I should have gotten out a glue stick. Does anybody know where I store my glue sticks? All right, I'm just going to pop this down, see if I can get that to stick. That glue's not coming out so well. I could always take off the, I'm trying to think what other glue I have sitting near me here. See, I love these needle nose things, but boy, I'll tell you, they really get finicky. You got a cheap set on Amazon. Oh, like the rainbow. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, yeah, that would be really cool for the jelly plate. Yeah, see that? Quick. That nose of that glue bottle tightened up. Shoo. That's a little better. Trying to get more towards the edges. Now, I would think the napkins, would really soak up the alcohol. But there again, like when I've done that, oh, bright white felt. Oh, that sounds pretty. Maybe I had the wrong thing off. I don't know, girls. I don't know. This is coming out a little better now. Um, when I messed around with some alcohol inks, the paper toweling that I had it sitting on, that turned out really cool. They were really beautiful colors. And then, I put some of that on a tag. All right, somebody said that might have been Angie. I'm trying to keep up with what you all are doing and saying, but I'm having to multitask. Angie's working. That's right, Angie. I think that's you that said that. It's kind of scrolled up. Like I said, my mouse died, and I don't want to be reaching in front of the camera. All right, so I'm just gluing this. Maybe I should glue the other side. So I'm just doing some really kind of some prep work right this second. I also pulled out some buttons. I'm going to pick out some buttons in a few minutes here. I'm going to use some of my Stays On ink. Oh my goodness. I got a couple of these needle nose things from Ranger and I just love them, but I can't keep the nozzle clear. I'm just using my finger here. Let's just do a couple of these on the napkin. Let's let those dry. Now I've got an alcohol inked finger and the same finger glue. All right, let's set the glue aside. I have paper towel in here somewhere. All right, let's see. I think I threw the paper towel in my baby wipe in the drawer. I'm gonna get out. Has anyone ever stamped on buttons? I'll bet you did have a lot of fun yesterday. I like using the jelly print and I really enjoy that. I don't think I'm very good at it, but the thing I don't like is cleaning it up afterwards. Now I don't want my buttons to be too terribly large because most of what I'm doing is going to be small. Oh, that's a cool button. See, like I want to save that. I don't even want to use it. I have issues, girls. I have issues. I'm trying to find some buttons that I can stamp on. If you use the Stays On ink, now this is cloth, so I'm not sure how that'll do, but let's give it a go. And of course, I'm looking for buttons that are more flat. That I can ink on. There's another cloth one. And I'm going to ink some script. And of course, I could use these upside down. See, now I would have a hard time inking on that because it's a little ridge. But see, I could glue it down that way. It's nice and flat on the back. So let's let's give that a go. So let's just do like a half a dozen. Look, that still has a piece of metal. Now that's the one I want to save. That's kind of big. Oh, look, that's a like a little poker chip. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. Here's a cool one. That really looks old. Still has thread in it. That might look cool. Okay, so let's work with those. Now I follow. When she comes on, I try to catch her. I'm not always sure when she comes on. I don't know that she's always sure because she works. I'm talking about Xena. And I think the only juicy stays on I have left right now is my navy. So I think I might go with the navy. Let's see what else I have here. Let me try we'll try the ganache first. I think Xena calls herself the sassy crafter or something. Does anybody else know Xena? Anyway, when she comes on, she was using this stuff. Oh my gosh. She was getting such a fabulous inked edge because when I ink my edges, I usually use the Tim Holtz, ink, which is great, but you really have to kind of work it. And Xena wasn't working that hard, and she had this, so I got some vintage antiquing paste. This is put out by Stamperia. Do you know her exact name of her channel, Judy? I see Journal and I'm thinking Journey instead of Judy. Is she the sassy somebody? Sassy something. So I'm going to use some of this once I get, putting some stuff together. So let me see if we can ink some of these. So I just have this little tiny script stamp that I keep on this block, little thin block. But I need a piece of scrap to see if I have any ink in here. It's very light. Let's see, let's try it again. I don't think I'm going to see it on the button. Xena the Sassy Crafter. Thanks, Judy. So sorry. I keep looking at the first word. Okay, we're getting more. We're getting more. We're getting more. All right, I'm going to try the fabric ones first. Has anybody ever done this? Oh, I hope I didn't just crack my glass. Can't really. Can see it a little bit. Hey, Connie Dunn, how are you? Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm trying to stamp on buttons. I've done it before. Gosh, that really made a big noise. I hope I didn't crack my glass. I don't see a crack. Maybe it just... I don't know what it did. I think I'm going to switch to the navy. Maybe I'll switch to the navy. I think I need to get a re-inker for my ganache. I think my navy's pretty juicy. Good morning, Barbara. There she is, my friend Barbara. That's much better. So now how cute is that? All right. Let's try the poker chip. Poker chip. Make sure I'm hitting the right spot. Now this has ridges. So I'm not sure. Ooh. It has ridges, but it's stamped okay. Right? And I love the ones that have the thread still in the buttons. Is anybody else a button freak like I am? Button freak. Oh, yes. Now I'm using the stays on, so no matter what I do with a button going forward, that's going to stay. Love it. Love it. This has a piece of metal. Now I've been working with my beads and jewelry and stuff, and all my pinchers are in the other room. So I'm going to take that little staple out. Just use that crochet hook. And like I said earlier, this button has little indentations, but see the back, you know, Barb, I was thinking that ruffled potato chips are ridges. Barb, we have got to meet someday. I feel like you're my clone. But see, the back side of the button is smooth. So I'm going to use the back side and stamp on that. Oh, thanks, Gail. It just depends, you know, if you got a smoother surface. So like that one, I'm flipping over and stamping on the back. Because once I glue it down to my project, who would know, right? All right, let's see here. Now this one's, even the back's a little bumpette, but let's just, it's a littler one, so let's just try. Not too bad, not too bad at all, or as you would say, not too shabby. All right, so we're getting some things going here. It's flatter on this side, so I'm going to stamp that. All right, button stamped, check. Paper stained, check. Lace stained, check. All right, let's put this back in the drawer. Now I'm going to get out, I don't know that I'm really going to put a lot of mixed media wet stuff on this. So I'm not necessarily, I don't know that I'm going to use this for a journal page per se. I just don't know. But I'm trying to think. Oh, I have archival. Archival won't move, right? Maybe because I just got some of that for Christmas. Yes, Gillian, the stays on will actually dry and not smear. I was using stays on, Connie. And now, see, now I know the oxide will smear, if you will. And because I really am not sure what I'm going to do with this stuff going forward necessarily, I'm going to pull out my archival. I think, now Eileen may say that this will smear or not dry, but I'm doing it on paper. Let me try the ground espresso. This is Distress Archival ink. So if there's anybody in chat who knows, speak now or forever hold thy peace. It says permanent, waterproof. Let's check it out. Okay, now I have experience with the stays on, and I know that is Fabaruni. Fabaruni. All right, so this piece of watercolor paper is dry, pretty dry. So let's just give a few stamps and see what we come up with here. And I'm not expecting this to be perfect. This is going to be, mostly background stuff. This I'm adding on top of the time card pieces. Okay, I'm just adding some stamping. You could do any kind of stamping. I happen to like the script. Here's a piece. This is a book I tore apart. This is the spine. Sometimes you can get it off in a nice chunky piece like that. Isn't that delicious? Delicious. Look, see, this is a piece of spine. That says Europe on it. Love it. Okay, I'm going to use that somehow. Somehow, some way, gonna use it. Gonna use it. Let's see, I have this little heart. This is a piece of burlap. That dried nicely after I coffee dyed it. All right, Barbara's Chicken Pie Society said, wow, when Lori mentioned stamped, I just had a flashback of going to dances way back long ago where they stamped your hand so you could come and go out of the room. Yes. Yes. Let's stamp this little heart. Don't want to get stamped cray. But look, okay? Come on. Really? Love it. Right? Love it. All right, so I left some plain, and my reason for doing that is because now when Colleen was flipping through that magazine, that's Colleen from CK Art, they were talking about those discs. You know, like when you go to your mechanic, he's going to work on your car, and you have to put your keys on a ring, and they have those paper. Tim Holt sells them, but like it was a Piccola. She was looking around to see where you could buy them. You can buy them on Amazon, but either Piccola or Eileen, maybe it was Eileen, found where you can get like a bunch of them at like Lowe's or Home Depot. Because like mechanical people use those, I guess, for a variety of things. Anyway, I don't have them. Of course, I'll be looking for them. Okay. But I don't have them for today. So I thought, well, I can make something similar. So I pulled out some of my punches. So I wanted to coffee stain, and then maybe, stamp. And get some of these type of things. Now I think this is a good size. And then I have a little Timmy. Well, I have a little Timmy oval stomp. I know I pulled it out, but where did I put it? Come out, wherever you are, and meet the young lady who fell from a star. She fell from a star, she fell very far. Kansas, she said, is the name of that star. Okay, it's sitting right in front of me. I thought it was smaller than it actually is. Hi, Aunt Beck. Oh, thanks, Aunt Beck. That would be great. I do that too. My husband will say, "Why are you out here and you leave the computer on?" I said, "Because the girls can use the watch time, right?" That's what I do. Okay, so this is a Tim Holtz little kind of chubby oval stamp. So I thought that would be cute. We'll make a couple of those. Okay. And then I have some of these whale tail stamps, and I always punch, not stamps, punches. I always punch this way so I can see what I'm punching. Oh, let's see what else. I have a smaller one too. That might be good for layering. Oh, that one I got the word name right there. Okay, don't work too hard, Aunt Beck. It's a little cooler here today. It was so warm yesterday. Like if we keep, at least this time of year, if we keep our door closed, the house stays pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a couple out of, what you normally would throw away is scrap. I like to punch all this stuff if I can, get in there. Okay, now that's what you call a piece of scrap, right? And then I have a little heart here. Let's see. I've got my trash can in a not so good spot. This is maybe still a little damp. I should cover up my ink while I'm not using it. Let's see how this little heart does. This is just, I think this is, gosh, it's not marked. I thought it was an EK stamp, but I guess not. Might be. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those ones that's got the little shield. I know. I love the whale tails too. Do you know that tag whale tail punch? If you look for that and if you happen to find one, some people are asking like $80, $90 for them. Now, when you're stamping a heart or something like that, and you've stamped some letters, not so much like a pattern that doesn't matter which way it goes, you want to make sure if you're going to use the heart, the way it's intended, make sure your script is going the right way. You may not care about that, but what if you do? What if you do care? All right, let's grab a pair of scissors because see, now I can't get, and I'm going to save that because, I might be able to use that too. You make your own? Yeah, well, I did for a while. I found mine several years ago at a really great price. I think I paid like $25 for it, which of course at the time I thought was, not that great of a price. But in hindsight, I did good. I did good. All right, so there are a couple of hearts. I can still use some of this, and we'll just see where we land with some of this stuff. Okay. So I'm just gathering bits because I'm starting to build a vintage ephemera stash. So I'm going to put some of these punches away. Now I have this square punch too. This is the Martha Stewart. You really have to put your full weight behind that. And I'm not sure I'm going to use this. Now I marked this here so I know that's the top. This is one of these kinds. So I'm going to put that aside. I may use that. Now I'm just pushing all this jazz up here out of my way as I'm stamping and inking, and I want to use a couple stencils on a couple of these things. I think I want to stencil on a piece of this. I was thinking I would stencil on that, but I really painted that quite heavy with the coffee. So that needs a few more moments. And let me just see what I have here handy in the way of stencils. I do like my honeycomb, and I've been loving that. So let's use those two. Let's make it easy. Look, dirty spoon, don't judge me. My hubby will say, what happened to all the silverware? Yeah, Lori's got it in her craft room. Don't tell Ron. All right, let's see. Will a regular piece of sponge, how will that work? Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, I'm going to have that song in my head all day. Not really necessarily a bad thing. I wonder if a piece of old sponge like this would be okay. I'm going to use some of this here. Okay, Barb's going to be right back. She's probably going to go beat some wash on a rock. Okay, Ange. All right, girl, take a break. Geez, Ange, I thought maybe you were someone. What are you doing, scrubbing floors? Good night. Don't work too hard there, Ange. All right, I need a piece of junk. Oh, I can just put it on this. Hold on. All right, I'm just going to put a piece of this. This, you probably, if you buy this, put this in your will and will it to someone, because I don't think you'd ever use all of that in a lifetime. Just saying. My lid's a little messy. Oh, look at this. Look at all this. Now this is really dark, so you kind of have to work this. Now you may want it darker in spots and not so much in other spots, so keep that in mind. Like everything else, learning curve. Curve. I know it's curve. All right, let's try. Let's see. Oh, yes, please. So this is called Vintage Antiquing Paste, and it's put out by Stamperia. I got mine on Amazon. You've been crafting all day? Girl. I do want to mention that Keisha will be on later, revealing the mystery box subject. For those of us who are interested in that, if you can be there live, that would be great. She's coming on at 5 Eastern. I think she said, oh, look, I flipped a piece of this on my button. If you hear a voice in the background, that's my husband outside talking to the dog. He just doesn't seem to get how sensitive the mic is and how it picks up the sound. Before I went live, I had to ask him, honey, can you turn that radio down? All right, so I'm going all the way down with this stencil. And I'm just using, an old sponge. And of course, I should probably have taped this down. But in reality, kids, I'm going to probably rip this apart and use it in pieces. All right, Angie's going to be right back. Okay. So now the other thing I was thinking, I pulled out some a while ago, I purchased these little cards and envelopes that match. These look great in a journal, right? You can do all kinds of stuff with it. I think I spritzed something on this one. I didn't really. It's a little square one. How cute are they, right? This was a tablet of just little brown slips of craft color paper. I think I got this on somebody's clearance, right? My neighbor, when she doesn't go out too much anymore, and she used to make cards. She's 93, and she's kind of not doing that stuff anymore. Oh, look, there's a book plate I cut out. But we'd go to Michael's, or when it was open, AC Moore, and rummage around. We'd be out, for lunch or whatever, right? And she'd go in, get what she needed, and be out. And I'd be like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking at clearance. And then when we would art together, she'd say, you have the neatest stuff. Where do you find this stuff? And I said, well, you're done right away. I rummaged through the clearance. So, like, a lot of times, you have to dig through some stuff to find really cool stuff. So, but that'll make a cool background, right? So I'm just inking on some of these things. Let's do an envelope. See, now an envelope I'm going to use probably as a pocket. It kills me not to do anything on that side, but in all likelihood, I'm going to glue that down. Now, certainly you could ink that, put something in it, and do a tuck spot. So that's something to think about too. But I think I'm going to, on this one, ink it with this paste and use this one as a pocket. And I don't really care about overlapping and if it's perfect. All right, because I'm probably going to glue stuff on top. All right, Miss Barbara says, here, if I hear someone talking, it might mean I'm hallucinating. No, it's my husband outside. Angie, get some water, baby. Get some water and drink. Sit down. I don't know what you're crafting to make you that lightheaded. So watch. I hope you're not home by yourself. Becky, I think, went back out into the yard, Gail. She's doing some yard work. Look, I got that in the kit. Isn't that a pretty piece of paper? I've never seen paper like that before. And of course, you can't ask the person because I don't know who made the kit. All right, these are little tuck-ins for a little envelope. Let's see. What do I have? I want to do something that, if I do the envelope, there's a piece of that. See, that doesn't fit that one. Oh, maybe that one doesn't have an envelope. This one has an envelope. So let's do something on this side. I do love that scrolly thing. Gosh, I'm such a freak. What if I do the scrolly thing? How do you like that terminology? Yeah, she was doing yard work. She said she was going to let my live run so I could get the watch time, which is very nice of her. I do that too sometimes. So let's put some of that scrolly on there. Ooh, ooh, that looks cool. And let's lighten it up over on this side. And then let's take, now for anybody who's just coming in, I'm building different components and I got to watch my time. Okay, I have a date with my son and my mom, so I have to be out of here right after I stream. That's if things don't change. My son and nephew live with my mom, and where we park our cars. Okay, so I'm just adding some ink to my little small script stamp, and I'm going to add this on the end of my envelope. All right, and then I want to make sure I do something on the back side, but I also want to do that edge. I was talking about my neighbor, and when she met me and we started to art together, and I told her about inking your edges. Now, I don't know if you were paying attention, but okay, look at the difference. If you ink your edges versus not inked edges, can you see the difference? It's just really amazing. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the top part of this. Anyway, where we park at my mom's, my dad always kept stone down in the parking area. So I'm thinking I'll use this as a tuck-in, right? So let's just put some color on this. And let's see if we can get some secondary script on that. Cute, right? That looks really pretty. I probably need a couple more of them. I think I put the tub away that has that in it. I don't know if I have any more envelopes out. Anyway, my son's getting a load of stone today. So our plans may change, just not sure. Okay, so this is going to go in there. So if I use that and tuck it in a journal, I'm going to want something on the front of that. So if I have that on the front, let's put a little bit of it on the front of the card. And we'll do the other half in this. And let's put some script. Am I off? I'm off screen. Sorry. Yeah, plus we were up late at Keisha's. You could be tired. That could be some of it. You're right, Barb. It's very good observation. All right, so here's my card without the inked edge. And now I'm going to put some color on my edges. I don't know. I think it makes a difference. For me, it makes a difference. I love it. I'm in love with this. How cute will that be in a journal? Ooh, yummy. All right, now I did paint some. Let's see. I painted some of these not transparency. I never can think of the name. slide projector things, frames. So I'm just inking the edges of those a little bit. And of course, I like to stamp those as well. So I'm just getting some bits and bobs together here to use in any kind of a project, whether it's, you know, building little ephemera. Let's see, where's the, let's do like the honeycomb one here. Or whether you're, you know, putting things together for a specific project or journal page. But instead of, like, say you want to do a journal page, you want to sit down, you just want to do a journal page, you may not want to mess around with all this kind of little bitty stuff. So if you take a day or a couple hours, maybe not a day, and you build yourself some components like this, then when you sit down, you're ready to rock and roll when you want to do your art page or, you know, journal page. This is a brown craft color pocket. I love saying pocket. So this is like a preliminary step, and I'm going to go get to the next step, and I don't want to run out of time. And I think Lena is coming on after me today. So we have this fella. Let's ink him up a little. He's still a little damp. Let's see. Let's put... I want to get the Timmy stencil. That's the rose. I keep forgetting I want to get that. And I keep forgetting. Now, if you don't have this paste stuff, that's fine. Use one of your ink, like use your archival ink. If you don't know what you're going to do with it down the road, you might want to use an archival type, stays on type of ink. Because then once that dries, it's permanent. I fell asleep, Ange. My phone died, and then I fell asleep. Yeah, Ange, you know what? Maybe you should, it's Friday. Maybe you ought to give your doctor a call, baby girl, and see what they say about that pressure. That's a little high. Are you on medicine for high blood pressure? I am. Did you take your meds? If you are, if not, maybe go to the ER, kid. Get them to check that, okay? Don't mess around with it, Ange. Don't mess around with it, please. This is a little uneven. That makes Lori crazy. And then if you do something like this, remember you're going to have that line. So you won't want to pop that open and scoot some of that color in there. Okay, this is just me being anal. Okay. But I am a reseller. So I want to think about some of those things. Not that you don't do things nicely for yourself, but, you know, for other folks. I want to make sure, think of all those little spots. Let's see if we have any ink left on here. Yes, that's true, Barb. I didn't put enough ink on my stamp. Okay, so I'm not going to get to everything I wanted to do today. Shocker. So let's finish up on some of these things so I can maybe get something done. I've got my glue gun plugged in. Now I still have more things in my tray here, but I did put some of this on some of these frames on that napkin. So let's just pull one of these off. Now this has been drying. And I'm going to take my little emery board and sand off my edges. Now there's a place not too far from me, I've talked about it before, where after someone has passed and their family goes in, now see, I want the frame part open, right? So I'm cutting this so I can pop that. And they go in after the family gets out and everything meaningful, and they have their estate sale. This company goes in and just finishes cleaning up the house. And I live not too far from them. And a lot of times you can find some really cool stuff that's really, you know, basically trash. I don't think my blade's too sharp here. And if I can get my... Now you could tuck that and glue that, but if you have an emery board that you can get in there with, it's a lot less fiddly and it makes a really nice finished edge. So sometimes I find some really cool stuff in that. You know, I call it the junk shop. So they had a book that was really beat up, but it was dated 1902, I think. So I have some of those pages here. And they have some pictures in them that are really cool. So I'm going to take that paste that I've been using and I'm going to grunge up that frame. Ah, look, see, I didn't glue it down well enough. And I just rolled that up. So I'm going to get more glue. And I'm going to try to be a little more careful here. A little more careful. What did I do with my glue? What did I do with my glue? My glue is not cooperating today. Goodness me. Now that just reminds me of what would I do for a Klondike bar? Hi, Kevin. I can't see the little needle to get back down in there and I don't have a small enough needle to get in that nose. Like my straight pins are all too heavy. That's better. That worked a little bit. Now I gotta see. I need my other glasses to see that little thing. So I'm gonna just glue that back down a moment. I had breakfast, but I feel a little hungry. All right, so let's see. I'm working on a messy surface here. And what did I do with my, oh, it's over here. Let's not forget, I made the tape. I made the P tape. Now these frames you can add on to certainly any kind of a journal page, right? Look, see, I couldn't get that to peel apart, but it was a 2-layer napkin. So don't give up easily like me. But you can also use these to make clusters. You could use this to add on to a pocket. You can use these on the edge of a journaling page, like to turn the page like a little tab. Of course, you'd want to do something to the back if you're not going to glue it down. And so there's just tons of stuff you could do. So today I just thought I would start building a stash of vintage looking stuff so that when I want to go do something and I need vintage ephemera, I have it. So these are my 19, oh, there's a button or something just went. Look at that little baby button. These are my 1902 pages. I love France. Rural France. Look at that. And the pages really aren't too bad. Now this little fella, I'm going to say, has a puppy. And I'm thinking that might look cute. It's a little big. Let's see what other choices I have here. That kind of looks cute too. Map, British Isles. I kind of like the sheep because it's smaller. But then I'm going to lose what's on the back there. That's a consideration. I think I'm going to go with that one. When my son and I were recently on our trip, we passed a lot of fields that had pigs and sheep like that. Now, I could have done this better. Oh, there's Mary. Hi, Mary. Oh, thank you. Let's see. I'm always trying to think of, some different stuff to do for the market. How you feeling, Ange? Are you still here? I should take a drink of water myself. So I'm supposed to go have something to eat with my son and my mom, and then we're supposed to go see The Fantastic Beasts 3. It comes out today. Let's glue this picture on here. Oh, I should have probably got a little smudge going on it too. Now, I think we talked last week when we realized that Colleen was, I don't have the right glasses on to see that. There's a little tiny needle nose, little pin in there that goes in this glue stuff. Our arranger sells these, and I need my other glasses to see. Anyway, we were talking last week when we realized that Colleen was making a switch to Thursday. And Lena was in here, and I think she's planning on coming. Oh, I don't really remember Lena's. She's Miss Lennox 210 or something. 2010. Terrible at remembering all these. Oh, wait a minute. I want to put a little grungy. My glue's probably drying. Make sure this is going the right way. That's, I think, the right way. Then I'm going to put a little, see if I can get a little stamp going here with some leftover ink. No, it's too dry. Too dry. Dry boned, dry boned, dry bones. So when I first came on, what I started to do was start preparing some surfaces and different things that I can use to build a vintage type stash. So that when I want to do a journal page, I just have things that I can go and grab. And here's a piece of tape. I'm not going to tear. I want it to tear. Let's give it a little hand. I'm going to add some additional glue on there. All right, Ange, keep an eye on that blood pressure. Let's take, ooh, nice, Dev. It's a nice day here to be off. I'll have to go back and look at the video, Mary. I'm not quite sure. I sent so much stuff to Keisha for the market that I don't remember. I could check my book. So I'm adding a piece of vintage tape. It's not vintage tape, kids. Okay, I just made it. All right. Look at this, how cute this pocket turned out. Just with some stamps. Let's put a piece of tape on this. I love this tape trick. I think Johnny showed me how to do it. That's a while ago. See, then I can go into my stash. Now, we all have a stash, right? We have extra bits of this and that and other things. But for me, unless I'm different than a lot of us, and that could be, it's not of any particular kind. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. See, and if I don't close it right away, it's going to clog. And then I've got other issues that I just don't want to deal with. It's just a mix of stuff, right? It's not all different. And so I was thinking I wanted more of a purposed kind of stash, you know, more vintage. Now this is some of that really cool old bedspread fabric my friend gave me, which I just love. So I'm going to add a piece of this, I think, on here. Of course, I didn't pull out any of my dirty gauze, which I should have. Let's grab a little piece of lace. So I'm just kind of like building a cluster type thing. So once you get a bunch of components together that you like, you can just start building and layering stuff. Now, see, I did do some buttons. I stamped on some buttons, but even that, it's kind of a little too bright for this. Let me get my Stays On out. gonna see if I can get some juiciness out of this. It's taking it back a little bit. This is pretty dry. There's Lena. CB has a birthday today. Happy birthday. Okay. Lena says, hello, everyone. I'm trying to make a quick spaghetti and meatball while working multitasking. Ooh, that does sound yummy. Lena, are you coming on? Are you coming on, baby? You going to stream? Let's put that. We can put that there. Of course, I like to have some kind of string. Now, this is the spine of that 1902 book page that I just put in this little frame. It's a piece of the book spine. I love all that jazz. So let's see if I can get some of that under there. I need some thread. Thread, please. I've got twine somewhere. Twine. I can't wait to... Okay, she's got to plate up those meatballs. Okay. All right. Lena's coming on in about 30 minutes. Okay, so that's that's 12 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, sweetie, go ahead and use it. I was not the first to stamp on buttons. I don't believe I were. But no. Use it. All right, just pulling out a little bit of twine that I like to have at the ready. See if I can thread that into that button. Now, a long time ago, with making my light bulbs and decorating my light bulbs, I was cutting or punching out something, and I had all these little leftover bits, and I don't remember. But how cute is that, right? So then some of them I put on rusty pins. Now, of course, if you're going to start building a stash of stuff, like, see, I'm going to take all this stuff that I've worked on today, and I'm going to load it in a box, and I'm going to hope I remember where I put the box. Okay? And then when I want to build something that has a vintage look to it, I can go to my box and pick out these different components and then work them together, right? At least that's the plan. Now, I did say I have my glue gun plugged in, so that's ready. And I love things that stick out, you know, like this button. I could put the twine in the other way, but I like for the twine to stick out the top of the button. Yeah, label the box. That's definitely a good idea, Deb. I think I have a little cigar box I might try to use. So I don't know if I want to put a label on it, but even things that have a label, somehow they go missing here. I don't know how it happens. I could have gremlins. Craft gremlins, perhaps? Eek. All right, Ange says, I just thought of something I could do, but not with the buttons. Oh, Ange. You don't want to tell. Oh, I know I have little tiny stamps somewhere, which would look really cute with a little tiny... Oh, fudge, I don't know. Let's just use a pen. Let's just make a little heart. It's probably going to dangle down that way somehow. This is a brown. That's a brown, just a brown pen. I put a little heart on that, you see, and then I could clip it to a piece of fabric. Let's grab another piece of, oh, there's some fluffy fabric. Got two things going here, kids. Two things going. See, we've got sheep there, so let's put a little kind of stuff there. Okay, let's see if I can get this pin open. Now you could use all these different bits for a journal page or in a journal book. I haven't even gotten to half of my stuff. I've got Timmy doll cuts here, paper doll cuts. Now this I glued this tape I made on here. And I need to trim off this half. It kind of lost its sticky, but that's okay. See, now I don't want to lose that. See, and this guy's sitting right here. Let's glue it on him. See, this is kind of what Mary does with, Dee Dee does it too. When you have leftover stuff, you don't want to lose it or waste it. Put it on something. Put it on. That guy needs some stamping. Oh my goodness. Now I had cereal for breakfast. My hands are still shaking. It's time for me to eat something. Maybe it's because I didn't. Creative Trish, hello. Nice to see you. Hey, Kimberly 557. Trish, I'm not sure if I've ever met you. If I did and I don't remember, I apologize for that. But hello, hello. Thanks for stopping in. I'm really wanting one of Lena's meatballs, I'll tell you. I want a meatball. Alrighty, let's see. Let's flip up those glasses. Look at some of this glued down. Now, you can use any kind of glue, right? For the most part, I am a crafter at heart, and I've got my hot glue gun here. I don't like the glue gun strings, but especially for this kind of thing, when you're doing a live and you want it something glued down quickly. So you don't need much, right? And these are just pieces. That's probably my son. Yeah, that's my son. Hopefully my husband's going to get it. Not sure if I can mute you because I lost my mouse. Hold, please. Brian, I'm online. You're on speaker and I'm online. Can I call you back?
I got it.
Okay, thanks, hon. I thought hubby was out in the yard. Okay, so there's a little cluster that I can put in my box. This dude here, he will look cute with some, I could even, put a little bit of a stencil on him, right? Okay, so we've got this little pocket going here. Let's glue some of this stuff down. My problem is I hate to throw a lot of stuff away because I see the potential, like the back of the book spine. I just love this. Hey, Marty, how are you? Nice to see you. So I'm going to put that book spine there. See, now nobody else knows, but I know that's from 1902. See, I love that. Come on. People that, are related to me think I'm nuts. Well, I am nuts, okay? but I'm a happy nut. Woo! Okay. So I'm putting that down with my glue gun. I think I want to put my button there, but I really would like to put some... Can I possibly find some cheesecloth real quick? Let's see. This is my container now. I got this idea from Beth Schuler. This is a big empty plastic see-through tub that had, oh, look at that. Look at that yummy piece of muslin. That had, I think it had animal crackers or something in it. See, and then Beth said, see, you can see through there. And I got this one because it's big and it holds a lot of jazz. I just need something, I think, fluffy. And I've been working a lot with my fabrics on some stuff for the market. And I can't find it, so let's try a piece of this. This is like a tulle. It's kind of gold. It's got a little bit of a fleck. My cheesecloth always goes missing. Always, always, always. Because I use it on every project. I think I use it on almost every project. Animal crackers in my soup. Oh, what? I could go for an old-timey movie. Actually, as I said, my son and my mom and I are supposed to go see Fantastic Beasts 3. And I think probably Mom and I won't really understand much of what is being said between the accent and okay, that'll do. That's going to have to do, kids. It's going to have to do. Look, I've got all my tubs of my different stuff. Normally I would put cheesecloth here or something really fibrous that kind of sticks out. And then I'm going to put my button down here. Oh, look, I've got something written on that. See, you can write on your pieces of fabric. See, now this will look good on a journal page or in a junk journal. So now I have all these bits that I can build stuff with. Tags, cards. How am I on time? 15 minutes. I'm just going to stay on till it's time for Lena to come on. Now here's some other bits. See, I got this at one of Keisha's sales. Look how cute these little labels are. Now these are cute the way they are, but see, they're even cuter if you grunge them up. So I just take some ink, archival ink, or Timmy's. I think I'm going to use Timmy's ink on this. I'm going to use some of my Gathered Twig Oxide ink. And I'm going to use my little makeup brush. And I'm going to grunge these up a little bit. Now, see, I say grunge, but it's not really... Yes, I did see the first two. Did you see the third one? Yes, I'm a big Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts fan. So I did see them. Thanks, Gail. So I'm just grunging these because I like it. It's not like a steampunk kind of dark grunge, but it's just a more vintage, primitive type. Oh, I got you, Gail. Yeah, I don't usually go to the theater anymore. I'm really kind of over Hollywood. but I'm more going for the time with my mom and my son. I mean, come on. When your son calls you up and says, "Mom, I want you to go to a movie with me," how do you refuse? How do you refuse? Okay, so this is still a little damp. This is clear, not clear. This is a white pocket that I painted a little bit of coffee on it. Let's see if we can do this real quick. All right, so I'm gonna just put a little heat on that because it's still a little dampish. Now this is basically a desk full of, trash. Okay, bits of fabric that you probably would throw away. Look at that yummy piece of fabric. Let's see if I can tear that. All right, so do not, if you take books apart, do not throw this book spine stuff. Like if you can get this, this book spine stuff when you're taking a book apart. I mean, this stuff is like, I'm sorry, it's like gold. Doesn't take much to make me happy. I'm going to ink on that book piece spine. Let's just see if we can get something on there. Oh yeah, thank you very much. That is lovely. Now let's put a little something on this here in the way of a stencil. And then we're just using what's we've already used. We've got it out. It's available. I don't have to go digging and looking for anything else. Let's just go ahead and quickly stencil something on the background here. Now, if you care and you're nervous, you might want to tape this down so it doesn't move on you. Just remember, if something goes awry and it doesn't look quite right, just cover it up with something else. I think I might like a little, okay, so I think that looks real cute. All right. But I do want to maybe put some around the edges because I like how that all looks. What did I do with my very small tube of paste? If you weren't here earlier, if you order this on Amazon, this is by Stamperia, a vintage antiquing paste. It's a good idea to put this in your will and will this to someone because you're never going to use it all. Okay? Gold in them there spines. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The paste is very intense. So keep that in mind if you're using it as a first timer. Like anything else, it's a learning curve. I saw Zena use this stuff. It's wonderful because you get a nice, deep coloration, if you will. Very little effort. Sometimes you have to really work with the Timmy stuff. Mary, I don't want to enable you. It's called Vintage Antiquing Paste. And it's by Stamperia. And you can get it on Amazon. I don't know if you can get it other paste places. Hey, Journey. And it was about $15, I think. Yeah, $15. And look at it. It's humongous. I mean, that's my hand. I'm a big girl, okay? Look, it's all the way down to here. It's humongous. Now, I don't know if they have it in other colors. Was just called brown, I believe. If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll help you find it. But I'm pretty sure if you just put that in Amazon. Okay, so now where did I put my... Okay, so I have this. I have a piece of fabric. I have my piece of book spine. And let's see if I can... Oh, boy, these... Boy, wouldn't they look cute on there? But they're kind of big. Now, they're different sizes. Let's see if I have them in something littler. Oh, look at those two little sweethearts. Let's see. Why do I have in my head, what would it do for a Klondike bar? I mean, there was a commercial the other day. The guy shaved off his eyebrows. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of eyebrows. Oh, thanks, Barb. You know how the different stuff comes up on your, what feed is it? Is it your Facebook feed? I think it's your Facebook feed. Anyway, this, you know how like when babies are born and they're like 2 or 3 years, I mean, they don't get eyebrows till they're older. Well, this dad comes in from work and the mother had put eyebrows on the baby. The baby's sitting in the high chair eating she had like a piece of ham and she had some other stuff on her little high chair tray. And she's munching away. The dad comes in the door and the baby's back is to him. And he goes to say hi to the baby. And when the baby looks up at him and she's got these eyebrows on, the dad loses it. It is so hysterical. Oh, she might look cute, or I might go flowers. I don't know. Let's put the married couple in there with the rest of the gang. I love these flowers, but sometimes they're just a little big for different things, and sometimes I cut them. They're all just so pretty. And I have to watch myself because sometimes I forget I bought them. I think I'm going to go with the girls. I'm liking the girls. All right, so let's put that aside. I might put a little paste on these girls. All right, so I'm going to try to start streaming in this spot. Colleen, AK Art has moved over to Thursday mornings, so you want to make sure you catch her. Okay. I'm grunging this a little bit too. I might have been a little too much. But I got a piece of fabric. I've got my book spine. And I got my little miss here. Let's see how this is going to look. Let's move everything down a bit. You don't have to put a whole lot, right? Oh, thanks, Mary. Okay, so Mary's put in the link for that paste. Yeah, it's really good stuff. And I don't smell, I mean, I have a pretty good nose. I don't really smell an odor or anything with it. All right, let's see if I can incorporate a little bit more of this. Or maybe a little piece of this lace. It might look nice under our little gal. Our little gal, Sal. Let's just call her Sal. It's looking okay, right? Looking a little cute. All right, let's see about these labels here. And what else did I prepare today? Yeah, it might be a little too heavy. Oh, I have some of these little guys. See, I had stamped and coffee dyed and then cut out little bits. I think that's upside down. Right? I had my time cards, and then I spattered one. I have a spattered time card here somewhere. Pardon my arm. Okay, so I have that, and then I went and I cut out different shapes because I don't have the tags. I know, Journey, right? That's what I said. If you get that, put it in your will, because you're gonna have to will some of it to somebody else because you'll never use it all. Look, I've got the stain everywhere. Oh, maybe a piece of tape. Where did I put my tape? I made my P tape. I love my P tape. P tape, P tape. Let's get me a hunk of that. I'm gonna get me a hunk of. I think I'm gonna try to wrap this. And then don't forget washi tape. I mean, my gosh, right? Haven't even broken out any washi tape. Oh, girls, is there ever enough hours in the day? I mean, really. All right, let's see. Let's go on this side. Now, I put this tape when I did it earlier in the stream, and I used my alcohol ink. I put it on a piece of, I don't know, it's plastic or acetate, but it did pull off a lot of the stickiness. So if you do something like that, just be aware. You want to add some glue. And this is going to get glued down onto something. So I didn't fuss with the back. You can't really see it that much, but you know what? It all adds to the overall finished look. Now back to finding the, oh my goodness. Maybe Lena's running late. She was getting spaghetti and meatballs together. Now I'm hungry for spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, I don't want to not close this because I'm having such an issue with it. Okay, there we go. Yay! All right, glue gun at the ready. All right, so this is going to be it for me. Don't forget that it is Friday. I keep thinking it's Saturday. It's Friday. And so Mary will be on later this evening, right? And Keisha will be on tomorrow. And she will be talking about the mystery box and the theme for that. How you feeling, Ange? Are you still here? Ange's blood pressure was up a little bit. All right, I'm just adding my little girl on here. And I was thinking I'd put one of these on here somewhere. I have to remember when I stream to put, I don't usually use, oh, Mary has a question. Does it dry fast? You know, I never really paid attention to that, but this feels dry. I just did it, what, a couple of minutes ago. And I don't know, like it could have said on the box, but I didn't really look. I don't know if it's archival. I don't know if it's if it will move with water. I guess we could test that. Wait a minute. I've got water here somewhere. It moves maybe a little bit more on my finger than on the paper. The water kind of beat it up on it. But yeah, I think I would say it dries fast, Mar. Yeah. Thanks, Barb. I look like I've been dyeing brown Easter eggs. All right, so let's see. Well, it kind of looks the same, doesn't it? I'm going to scoot that underneath there. Okay, so I got to scoot because I know, okay, thanks, Ange. Ange says Keisha's going to be on at 5, and that's when the mystery box theme is going to be announced. So, okay, so what I am doing here is starting to work on bits that I can use in vintage type projects. And instead of sitting down and wanting to do something that looks vintagey and have to do all this, I'll have all this ready and in a box. So if I want to sit down and do an art page, or if I want to sit down and add things to a journal or do, a junk journal, I've got components that will work. So what I've done is today for the stream, I stamped on buttons. I'm going to be like Julia Child. Oh, just clean your area. All right. I spattered some coffee on a time card. On a piece of junk mail, I painted coffee. And then here's just a plain time card that I did the coffee on. Yeah, right. And I'm just doing this themed vintage. But yes, if you've got stuff pre-made, then it's not like, oh, I feel like doing that, but I don't feel like getting everything out. You've got it already started. Let's see. What else did I do? Oh, yes, some frames. Oh, Journey, thank you so much. Oh, Journey, that's so sweet. Thank you. So we've got this. All right, I did some of those frames, and then I punched out different shapes out of a piece of time card. I had some watercolor that I did the coffee on. And then, of course, when you stamp on that, it looks yum, yum, yummers. Okay. Then on a piece of old book spine, save all that stuff. In this envelope, I had this in my stash, so I stenciled and stamped and inked. Okay. I think that turned out delicious, I have to say. Love that, right? So you've got all these components, and then stamping on our buttons. I use the Stays On ink. I've done this before. This holds up very well. And then when you feel like it, you can sit and put stuff together. So this is a little pocket. It's a honeycomb stencil, but it kind of looks like a giraffe, really, kind of to me. And then you can add other things from your stash, pieces of old torn fabric, your Timmy dolls, ribbons, laces, some of your cutouts. So all this stuff, right? And so then, oh, and don't forget your little P-tape. P-tape, P-tape. Okay. So then I did this little pocket. We just added a few things too. And then this little pocket. And I think there was something else I did. I kind of got a jumbled mess here. Kids. All right, got to go. Lena's coming on. Don't forget her. Don't forget Maria's on later this evening. And don't forget to check out the Virtual Craft Vendors Market for the announcement of the mystery box. All right, gotta scoot. Thanks so much for joining me, Journey. Thank you so much. Barb, thanks for being my mod. Hi, Kathy. Bye, Kathy. All right, ladies, see you somewhere on the web. I'm headed over to Pennsylvania, spend some time with my mom and my son. Looking forward to that. It's just going to be so fun. All right, kids, see you later. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you when I see you. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. Take care. Hugs to you all. Ange, keep an eye on that blood pressure, sweetie, okay? Go to the doctor if you need to. All right. Bye, girls.